Hello everybody, Hank Klein here from HK Digital Reviews, and before I get into this review that I'm going to be doing today, I just want to give a little update on this channel and all this stuff. I haven't really released anything this year at all, besides a couple countdown videos, which I never even finished the best of the year list. And honestly, I'm just going to be honest, I'm probably not going to finish that video or even really start it. It's not so much that I don't like making videos at the moment. It's just I hate editing. I really do. So basically, from now on, you're just gonna see very quick reviews of me. Hopefully, just a handful of minutes, nothing more than that. It's gonna be all unedited. All right, I'm just not really in the mood to edit anything at all. Like literally, the thing that's been keeping me from wanting to make videos and give my opinion and stuff is just editing videos. I can't stand it. It's just I hate having to pay for a service for it. Everything about it I just like, even though my videos are definitely better when they're edited, but I don't care with the editing so much anymore. I just really just want to talk about music really, and that's about it. So that's just what I'm going to do. That's just kind of what I'm doing from here on out really. I don't really have anything much else to say, I guess, but I guess now I'll just get in a review. So anyways, today I'm going to be talking about the album from Green Day that came out earlier this year called Father of All Motherfuckers. That's the Father of All Motherfuckers. That's the name of the album. Green Day is a band that I take to heart because at one point I would definitely consider them my favorite band. Back in the day, I was listening to the hell out of American Idiot when it came out. I also absolutely love their older stuff. Their stuff like Dookie and Insomniac, which are definitely the better albums in their career. I know people love the hell out of freaking American Idiot, but American Idiot, as good as it is, just it doesn't match to the first two major records they had. Dookie and Insomniac always will have a special place in my heart. Fantastic punk and pop punk records. But anyways, after American Idiot, the band started to see a downfall in their quality. No question about that. 21st Century Breakdown, I believe it was called. Even though it was a pretty popular record, I personally didn't like it. I thought it was too pop rock oriented in some ways. That song 21 Guns I can't stand for the life of me. But after that, Green Day decided to release their three worst records yet with Uno, Dos, and Tre. The best way to just critique that record is if you take the great songs from each of those records and take those out and just put them into one album or into one recording. It wouldn't even be a record. It would be an EP with like 6 or 7 songs on it. Honestly, it was basically like what rappers are doing today, where they release 20 song albums and only 5 of them really are quality because they gotta get those streams in. Gotta get all those streams in. Gotta make filler songs. This was kind of like Green Day's attempt at before rappers actually started doing it. So those 3 albums were atrocious. Then we had Revolution Radio, which I didn't listen to actually. I listened to songs from it, but the handful of songs I heard from it, I actually did enjoy a lot more than I heard from their past efforts. So I'm like, all right, Green Day's kind of found something again. They're going back in the right direction. Here we go. So honestly, when I heard that this album was coming out late last year, I was like, oh, great. This could be pretty cool. The album art is kind of shitty, okay, but it has like an attitude to it. Maybe it'll be good. Then they released the first single, Father of All, and that song was a shit show from the very beginning. And I'll get to why that was in just a little bit. But I decided to not listen to a single song after that, or single, I should say, until the record came out, because I'm like, well, there's really no point at this point to listen to it. Just get on with it. Just wait until it's all released and stuff like that. And I listened to the record when it was released, and I just really have one question. Why? Just why? This is a compilation, essentially, of the 10 worst Green Day songs ever. Well, I'll say 9. And I say 9 because the song Sugar Youth on this thing in the second half is a song that I do appreciate for kind of sounding like a little bit of old school Green Day while at the same time trying to mix this whatever the hell they're doing on this record with it. And it actually does kind of sound good. So if you're going to listen to a song from this record, Sugar Youth. Sugar Youth. That's it. Don't listen to anything else on this record because I promise you the rest of the record is an absolute dumpster fire. Starting off with the track, Father of All, which basically has... It basically shows everything that's wrong with the album. Number one, the vocals. They're absolutely terrible. Unbelievably terrible. I cannot believe the shit that Billy has allowed to have done to his voice. I don't get it. Like, legitimately, I don't know if he thought his voice was terrible or something like that, and he decided to put this really just terrible, like, filter on his voice in the verses of the song. And not just on this song. Every track on this record, there's something with his voice that is just terrible. Just absolutely unbearable. Don't understand why it's there. Do not understand why. Two, another thing I don't like about this record is that the instrumentals are just very weak for Green Day standards. They take like a garage rock approach, and they don't really like infuse garage rock with their old sound. It's really just garage rock is what we're hearing for the majority of this record. And they don't really add anything special to these riffs, and the riffs are pretty dull anyways for the most part. They're not interesting. The drums are just kind of there. The bass is just there too. Even though back in the day, each member would definitely have something that would be unique to each song of it, but whatever, I guess, right? Fuck what they used to do. Let's just do this other stupid shit that makes no sense. But I just don't get it. And that's really... Those are two of the big main problems, I should say. The third problem that bothers me the most, because I don't know why so many like popular groups have always done this. I don't know why Green Day thought this was a good idea, but they have hand claps. Like, you know, this simple beat fucking on at least over half the songs in this record. It's one thing to put on one song, maybe two, that's fine. I won't really mind it too much, but I swear to God, it happens on at least half the tracks on here. And if that's not bad enough, if the hand claps are not on the song, at least twice I've heard the drums decide to use the same beat on the snare drum. Like, I don't need to hear it. I hear the claps with it. I don't need to hear it on the snares too. You can be a little more creative than that. Come on, man. I know you. Be a little more creative than that, but whatever. I guess this is what Green Day wants to do now. I think what's even worse, when you listen to this record and you think about how they've been marketing this thing, they had that billboard that said there's no trap beats, no auto-tune, no Swedish songwriters, 100% pure rock, uncut rock, or anything like that. It was ridiculous, because one, they're lying. This is definitely not uncut rock. There's definitely effects on Billy Joe's voice. It's not completely non-auto-tune. And anyways, if you want to talk about the whole trap and auto-tune thing, Young Thug has released stuff in the past couple of years that sounds a hell of a lot better than what Green Day just did here. So your logic really just is going to the older generation, really. The people that say, it's not real music, they use auto-tune, it's just trap beats, it's blah, 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 and all that stupid shit. And it's really just trying to mutter to those people, but I feel like even some of those people that are like that would listen to this and say, this shit sucks. Like, it really does. I think, though, out of all this, the worst song on this by far, just no question about it, is the final track on this song, or this album, yeah, final track on this song, called Grafittia. This is, without a doubt, the worst Green Day song we will probably ever hear. I do not know how Green Day could possibly make a worse song than this, unless they attempted to do some very half-assed noise piece or some shit. Like, that's the only way I think they could make a worse song. For many reasons. One, the clap beat is back, and it takes more of a focal point on the song than it did on the other songs. And now I'm just starting to lose my shit, because I'm so sick of hearing this fucking thing, alright? Second, this sounds like a song that you would definitely hear at a stadium, but not like a popular song that everybody knows, just like a filler song while I was trying to introduce some of the players or something, and then that's it. Or a quick 10-second clip of the instrumental go by in between like a drop of the puck or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. And it just sounds so gross when you have to listen to 3 minutes of it. And one of the things that really just drives me nuts on this song is the piano lines on this, the organ lines on this thing. When they come up, they're so freaking ugly, man. They're just so ugly. They don't fit at all with this song. And once again, his vocals, oh my god. The effects on his vocals, the recording for this song, it's just so bad. There's so much wrong with this track that I think that if I talk about it more, I might get into a 30-minute rant. So if you really want to listen to what may be the worst song of 2020, look up Grafittia by Green Day. That will probably be it. It is ungodly bad to a point where I'm not sure if I would force it upon my enemies, to be honest with you. That's saying something. So, anyways, overall, this is a terrible record. This is. And there, again, some things I admire from it. Some of the instrumentals and guitars do have an older Green Day vibe at very rare points. Sugar Youth, though, kind of takes it the most head on, even though there's parts about it that suck. But I have to admit that I have a little bit of a soft spot for the garage rock sound, even if it really is not that good from the 2000s, you know. I have a little bit of a soft spot for it, and it does kind of come out a little bit when I listen to this record. Because for some reason why I decided to listen to this more than once, but I had to give it more of a fair assessment. So I kind of appreciate that. It's still hot garbage. I wouldn't recommend listening to this album, whatever. If you're a Green Day fan, you're not going to like this record. You're just not. There's not anything about this to like. There really isn't. Besides some parts, Sugar Youth, that's literally it. I'm just going to say that this record is a 1 out of 10. It's one of the worst things I've heard so far this year. Just don't do it. You know what? Don't even listen to Sugar Youth. Just don't do it. And unless you want to torture yourself with Grafittia, go ahead, but just don't do it. If you were curious about this album, if you still haven't listened to it up to this point, just don't do it. Give yourself a breather and a break. Just don't do it. And that is it. I think I'm done with this video. Yeah, I am. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this new style of not editing won't be too much of a problem for a lot of people. It's just some way for me to be able to continue releasing videos at a pace that I think would be a lot better, while I can still listen to more music and stuff like that. And I'm trying to play catch up here with some older stuff. Next reviews, I do want to talk about the Mac Miller project released earlier this year in February. I will be talking about that soon. The new Poppy record that came out in January, I want to talk about that. Didn't do that, but I will do that soon because I think it's worth talking about. I really do. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Again, hope that this new style won't be too bad. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, have a nice day.